You're not alone. He is alone in the field of microbiology. He carried the suitcases alone. She sang alone while the choir listened. We agreed to set up such a test for him alone. One man alone could lift it. I sat at the table by myself. I always go for a walk by myself. I will not be at the party. I will be at home by myself tonight. I did it all by myself. Can you eat that whole pie by yourself? The patient often learns to undress by himself. I have to do things on my own. I don't mind going to the movies on my own. Bridget learned to tie her shoes on her own when she was 3. I was on my own in a city I had never been to before. I didn't know anyone who lived there. I moved out of my parents' house to live on my own. I made that decision on my own.
I will cooperate as long as I am notified on time. I can bear any pain as long as it has meaning. We were all right as long as we kept quiet. The president need not resign so long as the elections are supervised. You can come as long as you're quiet. I will help as long as you buy pizza. Any stomachache that persists for as long as 1 hour should be seen by a doctor. I love football, and I want to keep playing as long as I can. I'll remember Will as long as I live. As long as I'm here, I'll help. I'll stay as long as you need me. The meeting could be as long as 3 hours. He can talk for as long as 1 hour.
I don't like them at all. They don't care at all about it. That's not funny at all. He doesn't like working at all. I don't think so at all. She doesn't smoke at all. I don't miss you at all. Are you afraid? Not at all. He's by far the best player here, don't you think? Not at all, mate.
We decided to come back to Scotland for another holiday. The pain has never come back since. The good weather seemed to be coming back at last. When will the good old days come back? I left work and came back home early. After years of living in obscurity, the rock singer came back more popular than ever. Please come back to me. I'm lonely. Come back to your home. Everything you said suddenly came back to me. All the old memories came back to me and made me feel very sad. What happened last night is coming back to me now.
You can come up now. They're gone. Come up and enjoy the view from the tallest rooftop in the country. When the girl prodded the bottom of the pond with a stick, bubbles came up. I called into the basement, and the children came up. This general came up from the lower ranks very quickly. We'll leave as soon as the sun comes up. He came up and began to talk to us. A heron came up while we were fishing, but it just ignored us. They came up and said hello to us. Strangers come up to him in the street and say how much they enjoy his books. Why don't you come up to New York for the weekend? We came up to Canada to look for wolves. My mother's coming up from England for the weekend. The principal couldn't go to the meeting because something important had come up at home. We never considered whether the kids should go with us. The question never came up. The question of what time to be there never came up. The matter came up, but it was never dealt with. I don't care how well you planned, something always comes up that you didn't think of. I'm going to have to cancel our lunch. Something's come up. A number of interesting points came up at today's meeting.
I could have gone to Oxford University, but I preferred Harvard. She could have married him, but she didn't want to. They could have bought a house here 20 years ago, but chose not to. You could have phoned me to let me know. They could have helped me instead of just sitting there. I could have done more to help you. Sorry. It could have happened. She could have taken the earlier train. Simon could have told her. They could have overheard what we said. They could have been the market leaders now if they had taken his advice.
We are still trying to figure out the best way to use them. I was trying to figure out what was wrong. Nobody can figure out what this is. Can you figure out which one you should use? Let's figure out a way to help. I can't figure out what's going on. Can you figure out this puzzle? I just can't figure you out. I can't figure out quiet people readily. His decisions and methods are beyond your ability to figure out.